But I did promise big name interviews, and they don't get much bigger, in both senses I suppose, than Haile Gebrselassie. He has 2 Olympic gold medals and 4 world titles over 10,000 metres, and his achievements in the marathon since that time are just as impressive. He won in Berlin 4 straight years. He holds the world record officially as the first man in history to break 2 hours and 4 minutes. Ed, you met him recently. How was it?
He's fascinating, but we had to begin with, well, one of the biggest U-turns in athletics, probably in sport anywhere. Gebrselassie dropped out of the New York Marathon last November injured, and the 37-year-old immediately announced his retirement. Days later, there was a huge national outcry in his native Ethiopia, and he reversed that decision. Since then, he is back to winning ways. He took the Vienna half marathon title. Then he celebrated his 38th birthday, and then for the 4th time was victorious at the Manchester 10K. It was after that race in the northwest of England that I caught up with him, and I use that phrase quite deliberately, Richard. He's such a busy man. He won his race by late morning, then he had personal appearances all afternoon connected with the great Salford Swim and the great city games and whatnot. He made his time for me in the car that was taking him to the airport. We started with that retirement that never was, and I wondered whether, looking back, he himself recognised the man who'd sat in that news conference and told the world it was all over.
I was too emotional. Everything was, just a little bit, too fast. I should not say, things like that way. Only when I came back home. Well, what can I do? I cannot reverse, just that kind of moment. Well, the good thing, just I start, training and running again. Well, actually, the time when I was in New York, what I said, just to retire, from competing, not for running. Running, it's not the one you stopped. I want to keep running, and, well, what do I do?
So was it you motivating yourself, or was it certain people or certain things that inspired you to change your decision?
When I came back home, everybody was shouting at me, just what's going on? Of course, what the big deal? Of course, I have to retire one day. No. Just we accept what you're saying. Just this is your decision. But the way what you said, it's not that the one what you want. What we will what we expect from Haile Gebrselassie. How can you retire? Just with winning. Just people if they win, they decide to continue. Running still is my blood. That's why just I continue.
The sport has rules, and even the great Haile Gebrselassie, you've got to qualify. So when will you be attempting that? When and where will you be racing your next marathon?
I'm not decided yet. There's just between Berlin and Chicago. The 2 marathon, the one just to run a good time. According to my federation, what they need a fast time. The fastest. The top 3 fastest, they go for Olympic. I want to be, just top 3. A good performance, from now to Olympic. One thing what I want to tell you, just even if I qualified, I have to see myself. I have to be sure, just to make, top 3. Otherwise, just it's not use, just to come in London and compete.
There aren't many athletes who've got 600 employees and a business empire and all of the charity work and everything else to juggle. Talking more about the Olympics and that marathon gold being such an aim for you, you've got 2 Olympic golds already for the 10,000 metres, and I've heard you say they're lonely and you want a 3rd one. On the subject of the big championships where you made your names, the 4 world titles as well, when you hear both of this year's London Marathon winners say they're going to miss this year's World Championship in Daegu in South Korea because they want to chase the world records for men's and women's on other courses, does that make you sad that the best marathon runners might not be at the World Championships?
Yeah, it's just up to them. For me, it's just to look, what's going on, what's happening, of course, just if I can run a world championship, it will be wonderful. But why I need to? As you said, just I had many world championship, but one thing I miss, one thing what I need, the marathon. That's the one. The marathon Olympic is a special one, historically, and also very special medal for Ethiopia. That's why I'm planning, I'm just concentrate only the Olympic.
How much would it matter to you if, say, some of your key competitors maybe chose not to race the Olympic marathon in London, and you won it? Would it devalue it at all?
I don't think, everybody wanted to compete in Olympics. If not, you see, they think, okay, what they think, let me run, fast in marathon, and why I need to run Olympic. It's Olympic, You've been history book. Yeah, you stop competing one day. When you look, nobody care about, how fast you run. People, they care about, what Olympic, you do, and which world championship. Of course, breaking world record is also one thing, but the Olympic, the one you have to.
After 2012, is that it? Is that retirement?
You see, that's the problem. If I decide that now, imagine what's going on. Which means, if I'm thinking, okay, let me run, this is my last marathon. And that's why, it's better, to say nothing and then wait until the things come.
Haile Gebrselassie in the back of a cab with our athletics commentator Ed Harry, at which point I assume he just got out and went to the airport.
He did. 20 minutes we spoke for in total. Right. He got his bag out and he went.
And in terms of the Olympics, clearly he's very sensitive to making pronouncements about retirements now, because so many people, as you outline there, depend for their livelihoods on his running. But it's the Olympics that he wants. It's the marathon gold that he wants.
He's absolutely got this singular focus. It totally defines everything. 38 years old, and that is clearly his objective. And you would imagine that everything else, mentoring people, charity work, goodness knows what. When are you going to go into politics, Haile? Are you going to be like Manny Pacquiao in the Philippines? Are you going to be in government? What are you going to do? It all comes second to Haile Gebrselassie, the athlete, and London 2012.
And we're going to have a similar narrative, I suppose, similar but different. Paula Radcliffe coming towards the end of her running career. From a British point of view, obviously that's going to be one of the huge stories of the games. So much success over the marathon distance, but now having gone a protracted time without being able to win one and even compete in one properly.